Sometimes you just got a Fender for yourself. And unfortunately, they're sold out of some of these Fenders online. And so I've looked at maybe just replacing the whole things with new metal Fenders, but they don't sell each of them. So we're going to take a look today and make an assessment about whether we think we can fix these or not. So that's what we're going to do on today's I've gone online and looked at Fenders that are new, and I'll tell you that they're sold out, at least the multiple places that I've seen, for one of the sides. So the question becomes, do I wait for new Fenders or do I try to fix these? Leaning towards just trying to fix these, but man, are they disgusting in the bottom portions. So let's go ahead and sand down some of the, and wire wheel some of the rust spots and see what we're working with, and then we'll make a final decision. So if you guys couldn't tell, I didn't go through this car and put magnets on every surface to find 1/4 inches of Bondo on a Fender. Like, I think I've already made my decision, and the decision is I'm going to replace these front fenders. But some of the fenders are on back order, and so I'm going to try to figure out whether I want to go fiberglass or whether I want to stay with metal. Most of me just wants to stay with metal, but we'll see. I'm still not planning on flaring the car, so I don't want to put flares on it, so the Troy Ermish Brie flare fender ones are sort of what I would like to go with, but I don't want to do the flares, so we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit more and then rattle can it and then go from there. I know I've done a ton of really good work on this car. I don't plan on changing that now, but I do need to be able to move the car under its own power over the next 4 to 8 weeks, which is about how long it'll take for the fenders to get in if I go from Troy Ermish. So I'm just hitting this with a little bit of white to sort of a visual reference for myself, and also because I just uncovered it. So now that that's cleaned off, I will go ahead and let them dry, and then I'll put them back on the car. As I work, or as they dry, I'll go ahead and put the brake lines on the front of the car. So let's go check that out. Alright, so I know I mentioned on the last video that I needed to grease these, but clearly the fact that I'm cleaning grease off the sides of these means that I over-grease them, so maybe you don't need to put more grease in them when you get them. Since this piece stays put when you screw the hard line coming from the master cylinder on, you need to put this side into the caliper first and then tighten it down. I don't know exactly what size this is, 11/16. 5/8 seemed like it was too small whenever I tried to use it. 11/16 honestly seems a tiny bit too big, but just snugging it down like that. Then I bring this piece back around, which I can use a 19mm end wrench on, although I don't necessarily know if I need it, because it just goes there. This goes here, like so. Once I get it started, if in fact I can get it started, then on the smaller hard line, I'm using a 10mm flared in wrench. Alright, so a 10mm flared end wrench and a 19mm on the top. Keeps it snug and in place so you can get that last little bit tight. I still have to bleed, but let's go ahead and turn the wheel and see what happens. Full lock, and more importantly, full lock. Alright, we're attached. Let's go ahead and go to the other side. Alright, so over to the passenger side, this is a centric part. I got it off of Rock Auto. It's part number 11808, and looks like it was made in August of 2020. So, or maybe it's a 150-42004. Again, you're going to take this piece and go ahead and bring this out so I can see it a little better. Once you get it started, it shouldn't be that bad. There we go. Okay, now I've got it started. So I've got it started. Go ahead and just rotate it in till it's tight. Or snug, I guess, actually. Take the 11/16 flared end wrench, slip it over, tighten it down. Now you can use there's tight. Now we're going to bring this back over, slide it to where it needs to go here, and then plug in the hard line. Now the hard line looks like it's been bent a little bit. I want to bend it just a tiny bit more to get it angled the way that I think it needs to go. And then we try to get it started. To get it started, it's time for the 10mm. And just turning a quarter to a half a turn each time. Okay. Now that I have that done, I need to go find the shims and put those in. I haven't found the shims yet, but I am going to start bleeding the brake. So first I'm just going to loosen the bleeder valve here. I'm going to go turn on the air compressor, which is going to be loud, sorry. But I've got a speed bleeder that I can at least get to the fluids through the lines. Once I get them through the lines, then I'll use a family member to help me bleed these brakes. I found with these air bleeders, they're very good at moving fluid through the hard lines and down to the calipers, but I've not been impressed with the brake feel with that alone. To achieve those results, I use the two-person method. I am a Jedi, like my father before me. Ugh, sorry, nerd quote. But seriously, like my father before me, I bring a family member out to perform the old push down, let off, repeat until no bubbles method throughout the lines. I still use the speed bleeder container to catch all the brake fluid though, which is nice. Some things to note: make for sure you keep the reservoir topped up and remember to have fun. Now that I have those, the brakes bled, thank you to Olivia, I will go ahead and find those shims, and then I'm going to put on the crappy old Fenders just to get them out of the way and allow the car to be buttoned up for a little while I search for new Fenders, and then we'll keep moving forward. I realized at first I was going to put on the wheels then put on the fenders, but it's actually easier to get to some of these front nuts and bolts and stuff like that if I do that first versus put the wheels on and get those in my way. So let's keep working. In order to fit these in the door, I'm going to trim out just a little bit right here and see if that'll work. These are the new speakers that are going to go into the doors of the car. So I went ahead and trimmed off the small amount of metal here, letting these point forward, and then I will got the new wires, or the wires here that are run. I'm going to put the striped wire on the negative and the non-colored wire on positive. Don't know if that's the right way to do this, but that's the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to twist tie these on, use a little bit of solder to secure it, and then I will place this speaker into the door of the car after I find some screws to place it. Always remember to put your heat shrink on first, it's a closed wire. Now that I have the wires where I want them to go, I'll go ahead and... Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with me. I just shot like 4 minutes of complete pointless video and didn't even talk to the camera again. So I went ahead and trimmed it all. Now let's move to the next part of the video. Oh, but before we do, I did solder those wires. So in the next part of the video, we're going to go ahead and put on this fender. So you can see I've got new rubber isolators. 510 Fender seal, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these, and they just slip on over like this. I'm sure there's a specific left side versus the right side. I don't know if there is. Hold on, let's check. These are 812. Yep, so no specific part goes on one side or the other. So I'm assuming what we'll do is we will line it up with the holes. And trim is appropriate. That goes, you see there, you see there, and I see one there. Okay, now what if I do it the other way? What happens? Hey, babe.
What should I?
What?
So we'll be right back.
Okay. Have fun. Stop.
Adios.
Please stop yelling at me. Should just go swooping in like so. There's that. Yeah. Get these. Okay, that one's out of the way. This one is almost out of the way. So you can see, like, what I'm trying to do is trying to work this piece back behind, and you can see, I mean, these pieces are just trashed. But one of the things that it looks like is that this thing could use is a little bit of glue or something to hold this piece in place. So that's what we'll do. I never really use this weather stripping seal, but I'm assuming I can just dab some maybe in a few spots here. So, the lid put back on it before I make a mess. Now I've got some of that on there, I can just sort of slip it on into where it goes. Hope that the let's try this again. I'm going to try to have my hole a little bit too far forward because this goes in at a bit of an angle. Also need to go ahead and get rid of some of the old pieces there that are probably causing problems as well. So right now, alright, this will be a little bit better, I think. Go that. This, okay. I can see. Okay. Alright. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and adjust some of these just slightly. Alright, now I just need to get out some screws. And place them where they go. Fellow Datsun guy reminded me to anti-seize everything, which is a good point. This screw doesn't actually seem long enough, so we're gonna go and look, see if we got good ones that'll maybe be a little better. Hey, thank you for watching up to this point. For the next about 20 minutes, I'm going to be working quietly. I'll make some comments throughout, but for the most part, it's just a lot of trial fitting of the fenders, tightening the bolts, holding down the front coilovers, and then my camera dying right before the final couple bolts on the fender. Good news for those that pay attention to my channel, the car in real life, as this video was shot several months ago, I am currently daily driving the 510 and have been enjoying it so far. If you stick around, thank you, but I will totally understand if you want to go do other things. Or do me a solid and set like 5 to 7 devices in your house watching my longest videos. That way we can trick the algorithm into thinking I make good videos. That would also be appreciated. This is my first video since I surpassed 100,000 views on my channel, and I'm very excited for the future. If you haven't already subscribed or told another car guy about my channel, this is my shameless plug to try and enlist your help. I would love for this channel to grow and be able to bring you more content. I have slowed down a bit in creation of the videos, largely because I have a real job, and that actually pays my bills, and I need to spend more time focusing on that. Thank you for continuing this journey with me. We will eventually get this car done. Thanks for watching up to this point, and you have a wonderful day. Again, about 20 minutes of almost pure silence, except for maybe some witty comments from me here and there throughout. That was the perfect size with a good washer. Alright, so I did find some more. Now I'm just putting a little dab of anti-seize on these, especially since all of these are going to come back off likely here in the next couple of months when I get the new fenders. Fender's even worse than the other one. Look at all that rust. But it should go back on a little easier since you don't have any kind of like real metal integrity here. Hopefully we'll slide that like that. This bit will go like there. Okay, take this, bring it out and under like that. Maybe not. Should have done that back one first. Back first, because. Okay. Then the front. Okay. That one's on. That one's passed. That one's passed. Okay. Oh no, there's another broken bolt there. Is that the only one? Okay. I gotta get that broken bolt out and grab that. All right, let's go ahead and try to. So this bolt was stuck and broken off, so I tacked a little bit of a weld onto it. That does two things. It gives me a bigger piece to grab onto. It also heats this internal piece, which causes it a lot of times to break loose. So once it got done, this piece broke loose right away. And now I'll just replace it with a different kind of bolt. But now we got that out of the way, we can continue moving forward on this part of the car. So let's keep doing it. front fender bolts. These are new bolts that I've got that I ordered. I just didn't want to use old crappy bolts, so I'm going to go ahead and knock down some of these ridges that I made. See if this hood will shut. Not hitting anything over here. Not anything over here. Good news. Okay. All right. Let's keep moving. What do we got? Okay, we need to figure out the front fenders.
Pardon me as I move the camera. I should stop talking while I move the camera. I'm going to attach the front of the fenders to the apron.
Speed nuts, I can see. There's some, not speed nuts. I see some inserts that are just for screws, so it's just going to be it's just going to be a matter of using a screw to go through there. So some of these bigger screws, let's see how these work. Almost like they were made for each other. Okay. That one bad? It's not there. That's not there either. We gotta find the pieces that go there. Otherwise, we won't be able to screw them in. Alright, I know what those things are, but I don't seem to have any on hand, so I will have to come back to that. I gotta make several trips out to grab things anyway. So.
Once again, apologies for talking while moving the camera. I'm going to go ahead and move to tightening the top suspension pieces back onto the inner fenders.
So this one, yeah, there we go. About like that. We go ahead and tie all those down. These are 13 millimeter. And just like I'm turning both the top and the bottom right now. I got it snugged. I can't really feel the bottom moving around on me anymore. So. now the suspension is in tight. Again, I don't have a lot of adjustability because I haven't cut this top part yet, but I will soon. Well, I will at some point in time. Actually, it probably won't be soon.
Hey viewers, sorry for no big payoff at the end of this video. I continue to work on getting the Fender put back on, but my camera dies and then I end up doing the last little bit of work off camera. This is going to do it for this week. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, go ahead, comment, like, subscribe, and you have a wonderful day.